It is Wednesday, November 18th, 2020. This is your weekly Howl. I'm Sefa from the Husky Howler.
And I'm Mike with Radio Reagan. Tonight, we're going to tell you all about the record number of Husky Bucks, the successful debate performance, Nurse Haim explains some important terminology, and we debut two new segments, a TOK question of the week, and the math department's Check Out This Graph.
We start out with the records surpassed. Miss Jameson is here to talk about the record of Husky Bucks that have been given out. Here's Miss Jameson.
Hey guys, Miss Jameson here to give you that record amount of Husky Bucks that has been given out. So as of right now, we have given out a whopping 21,511 Husky Bucks. Whew, that's a lot, guys. Good job. Keep up the good work. Today, some of you guys should be seeing some familiar faces, student of the month. Some teachers are going to be coming around and giving out those yard signs, so keep an eye out. You might be one of the lucky ones. Just a shout out to a couple students who were caught doing awesome things at Reagan this past week. ZD Martinez was caught being a good communicator, and then Brandon Gorton, a 9th grader, was caught being a risk taker. Also, guys, keep a watch out for announcements. We might be doing some Black Friday sales, or more like blue and gray sales for Husky Bucks with some Husky gear. And so that's going to be coming to you guys on the announcements. So keep a lookout to know what you've been saving up for, and you might be able to get 2 for 1. Have a great week, Reagan.
Speaking of students being good, here's Senor Moore with a special shout out to our Spanish 1 classes.
Hola, mis estudiantes fabulosos. Estoy tan orgullosa de ustedes en Español 1. Ya aprendieron mucho, ¿verdad? I am so proud of the Spanish 1 students that presented on Tuesday in the B-Day class. Yesterday was our very first day of presentations, and my gosh, you guys were able to say so much. I was just so proud, and I just thought, you know what? I got to give you a shout out. You guys got to know how very, very impressed I was by how much Spanish you could already communicate. Virtual school, doesn't matter. You got this. Buen trabajo, señores.
Hello, Huskies. This is Nurse Haim. I and many other school nurses have been working with the Milwaukee County Health Department to do contact tracing during the COVID-19 outbreak. And I thought it might be beneficial for you to understand what some of these terms mean. What is contact tracing? Contact tracing is a tool that can help slow the spread of infectious diseases such as COVID-19. If you are diagnosed with COVID-19, someone from the health department should call you to check on your health, discuss who you have been around, and ask where you spent time at to assess if you could have spread COVID at that place. If there has been positive tests around you, you may be asked to quarantine or isolate yourself. What does that mean, you ask? Isolation keeps someone who is infected with the virus away from others, even in their home. A person in isolation after they test positive for COVID-19, if you test positive, you should have no contact with others and be isolated in your room where others cannot have any contact with you for 10 days after your symptoms started or the day you were tested. Quarantine keeps someone who might have been exposed to the virus away from others. A person who will be quarantined are individuals who are within 6 feet of someone with COVID-19 for a total of 15 minutes or more, someone who provided care at home to someone who is sick with COVID-19, someone who had direct contact with COVID-19 persons, such as hugs and kisses, or shared drinks or eating utensils. Steps to take if you are in quarantine. Stay home for 14 days after your last contact with a person who has COVID-19. Watch for fever, 100.4 or greater, cough, shortness of breath, or other symptoms of COVID. If you live with others who are not isolated or quarantined, you should be wearing a mask and stay at least 6 feet away. Hopefully this helps explain some of the terms you have been hearing as we continue to fight this virus. Please keep yourself and others safe, wash your hands, stay at home, and if you have to go somewhere, remember to wear a mask.
The debate team had success last weekend. Iman Snowbar and Brenda Paredes, 3rd place in VSS. Nick Wojciechowski and Joaquin Dehan, 2nd place in VSS. Brenda Paredes, 1st place speaker, Iman Snowbar, 3rd place speaker, and Yasmin Zayani, 5th place speaker. Anyone interested in debating this year? You should join the Congressional Debate Team.
Our Hope Squad Instagram is at Huskies Hope, and it was created recently so you can all learn about who's a member of Hope Squad, how to contact them, daily affirmation, Hope Squad events, and more. Mental health should be seen as a priority at Reagan, especially during virtual learning. Please take advantage of Hope Squad and reach out to our Hope Squad members with anything you need or want to talk about. Hope Squad is always here to listen.
Stay tuned for more updates about Hope Squad on these announcements. Thank you.
The OCR, also known as Office of Civil Rights, is a student-led committee of leaders dedicated to advocate for change and the continued improvement of social climate and culture. All the time and effort put into OCR are to cultivate a healthy and inclusive climate and culture at Reagan. We are the representatives of student voice within Reagan community. We will make sure students' voices are heard in order to foster positive change and safe spaces for all students.
So let's talk real quick about the Oregon OCR. Milwaukee Public Schools were identified as having a disproportionate rate in suspensions African American and Latino males in comparison to white males. The United States Department of Education created a resolution that aims to help decreasing the disproportionate disciplinary rates by implementing an Office of Civil Rights, also known as OCR committee, in all MPS middle and high schools, in order to ensure change happens to solve the issues and to stop further issues from occurring.
Some of our past achievements within OCR and student voice include our initiation of safe spaces, which was basically developed to provide students with resources needed to support students mentally, socially, and emotionally, with having the ability to enter teachers' classrooms at times where they felt like they weren't comfortable in the current space where they were in, or they were feeling unwell either emotionally or mentally, and were able to take a bit time away from the setting that they were currently in. We also were able to help aid in implementing restorative practices throughout the district.
About 2 times within the school year, our OCR committee goes to a district-wide leadership summit where we meet with other OCR committees to discuss problems that are district-wide and to discuss solutions that can also be applied throughout the entire district. These leadership summits are also held alongside the NPS leaders, district leaders.
We are looking for passionate and dedicated underclassmen students that are interested in advocacy and devising solutions to improve the environment within the student body. Anyone is invited to join OCR and fill out an application.
You can also find our application at tinyurl.com/OCR2K21 apply. Also, if you have any further questions, you can reach out to us on our Instagram, Reagan IB OCR, and our Weebly, which is reaganocr.weebly.com.
We're here
to provide you
with the Student Voice platform
for your voice
to be heard.
Join us.
Hello, Reagan students. My name is Mr. Sanders. You may remember me from such ACP announcements as, please be a participant in our psychology experiments. Juniors and seniors, talking to you, right? My IB psychology students who are testing in psychology this year are working hard on their internal assessments, and they desperately need more participants for some of their studies. And in the next few days, I'm going to encourage them to start sending those studies to their regular classroom teachers. Not to step all over class time, but to be kind of folded in to the stream on Google Classrooms as one more advertisement of those studies. If there's a study in there, all right, that you find in one of your classroom streams that you have not yet participated in, and you could participate in it, we would be ever so grateful for your participation. Okay, we live in very strange times. It's hard for my students to get the kinds of numbers that they need to do their analyses, and they are very appreciative, and I personally am very appreciative of your participation if you can swing it for us. Your participation is completely voluntary. You can withdraw from a study at any time you wish if it makes you feel uncomfortable. But I just want to say, I'm so thankful for everything you guys are doing. Not just the participants of my psychology experiments, but all Reagan students. You guys are amazing. The way that you're keeping up with your work and the way that you're holding on and hanging in. And every day I see things that Reagan students do, and it blows my mind. Right? I can't wait to get back in the classroom with you guys because you're so amazing. All right? Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Look out for those psychology experiments. They're coming your way.
And now, deep artistic thoughts from the art department.
Symmetrical balance in art is when each half of the artwork is very similar. Asymmetrical balance in art is when each half of a composition is different but holds equal weight. If you don't like something you make in art, just tell people it's not yours. You don't know who made it, and walk away.
This is the weekly Howl before Thanksgiving, and we want to give you some information that you can use during your Thanksgiving Zoom calls. And to help us out with that, here's Mr. Moore with a new segment. Check out this graph.
Hi, Reagan. My name is Mr. Moore, and I'm part of the math department. And we couldn't just sit by and watch the Phi Ed department have all the fun. And so we're getting in on the weekly Howl with, check out this graph. This week we thought we'd look at which foods are unusually popular in each state as we have Thanksgiving coming up next week. In Wisconsin, we're repping something called brown berry stuffing. I live here and I've never heard of it. It's interesting to look. Leave it to a state like Ohio to bring you something like dirt pudding. And there are many other interesting things on this graph. Of course, Oregon would have something called vegan mushroom gravy. Our math question for the day is, pause the video, what is the mode? I.e., which odd Thanksgiving dish occurs most frequently on this graph? Enjoy. I think you'll find it's something rather gross. Have a great day. Bye from the math department for now.
We also want to provide you with some food for your brain. Here's your weekly Theory of Knowledge question. What role will your parents play in your life when you become an adult and move out of their house? Will you still obey them? Will you still want their advice? Are you having these discussions with your parents already?
I know what you're thinking. It's Wednesday. It's almost 1 o'clock. It's almost time for the Reagan High School Virtual Coffee House hosted by the Reagan High School Music Department, where you can see student performances of covers, original songs, spoken word, or anything else that students can think of. All you need to do is go to tinyurl.com/Reagan Coffee House, and you can join in, and you can be a part of the Reagan High School Virtual Coffee House.
Create music with this pie dough.
Because if it's Wednesday, if it's 1 o'clock, it's time for the coffee house.
The Virtual Spanish Conversation Club will meet Wednesdays from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. in this Google Classroom. Join Spanish virtuoso Señor Voigt and Señor Payan. This is a club for all students that are taking Spanish classes at Reagan who want to practice and improve their Spanish speaking and listening skills. Come chat with us. If you're a student or a teacher learning Spanish, come have fun speaking with us. If you are a Spanish native speaker and would like to help your fellow students, please stop by and be a part of our Spanish Conversation Club. Hasta pronto.
In a world rocked by financial hardships, where students look for money to help them pay for higher education, coming soon, the Guidance Department presents Scholarship Award Announcements. Coming December 2nd to announcements near you.
Speaking of math, the Coaches Challenge this week is all about giving 100%. Here's Coach Poltrak.
Hey, Reagan, Coach Poltrak here. Trying to find that winning edge with a little light reading here in the off season. Seems like it's been in the off season for a long time. I'm a coach here at Reagan, and I'm really wondering if my student athletes are prepared for whenever that sports season calls upon us. I know winter sports is supposed to start here soon. It's still up in the air. Fall season has gone to spring, and spring's going to nearly be in the summer. I don't know what's in store for us. I don't know what kind of challenges we're going to have, but what I do know is student athletes can start preparing themselves now, and hopefully you have been. We're going to issue a coach's challenge geared toward the athletes. I want you to give 100% daily to your chosen sport. What's that going to look like? Well, it's going to be 25 push-ups, 25 squats, 25 lunges, each leg, and 25 minutes of some cardio activity that's going to raise your heart rate. Given that 100%, not 101%, not 110%. I don't know where coaches come up with that. They must not be very good with math. Just 100 towards your given sport, your given athletic endeavor. And be ready when the call comes, because I know I will be, and your fellow athletes and coaches will be as well. So, as always, Reagan, have a great week, and go Huskies.
Menus may vary by location, but according to MPS, today we'll be having for lunch chicken mini tacos, refried beans, shredded lettuce, salsa, craisins, and as always, your choice of milk.
Thank you for joining us for the Weekly Howl. You'll be able to find this episode, along with all past episodes, on the Reagan IB Media page, along with the morning announcements. I'm Sepha.
And I'm Mike. Take care of yourselves, Huskies.
One mission.
Une vision.
Un enfoque.
C'est
IB.
l'idée.
Be well, Reagan.